chlorine for the couriers to leave the packages in. We'll then bring it into our reception area here, put in more chlorine in a bucket, and then check that we have the right paperwork for the number of samples. And we'll take the whole package, still in the plastic bags, up into the lab. Which is in this container. And this is where everything happens here in the lab. Hello. The samples will be entered through the sluice into our biosafety cabinet, where we'll open up the packages, take out the blood tubes or the swabs, and work with that. So it's completely contained with the sluice, so all the containment of the virus will be inside the cabinet. We'll do 2 tests. We're running a PCR for Ebola, and we're also doing a rapid diagnostic test for malaria. That will happen in here. For the PCR, we take a small amount of blood, and then inside the containment box, we'll open the blood tube and remove a small amount of blood with a pipette and put it into one of these small microtubes, which already contains lysis solution. And that lysis solution breaks down the blood, but also the virus, into its basic components, into DNA and RNA, proteins, but it breaks it down so completely that it's not infectious anymore inside the tube. And then to get the tubes out again, we'll pass those through a chlorine bucket, so that also the outside of the tube is completely decontaminated, and that will come back out through the sluice. And then we run it on 2 machines we have here. Yes. The first machine over there basically isolates the viral genetic material, and then we run it on the PCR, which will actually detect that material if it's in the sample. And basically what we get at the end of the day is curves on the PCR machine which tell us if the sample was positive or if it was negative.
How quickly does that happen?
The whole process will take about 5 to 6 hours. Depending on the number of samples we get in a batch, take about half an hour to an hour to process them in the hood, and they come out. That machine takes about an hour to isolate the RNA, and then the PCR takes about an hour and a half. But all together and with the handling, it should take 5 to 6 hours to get it back through.
That's a vast improvement on the current.
Currently, yes, certainly. Currently, the samples are being sent to Bow by helicopter, and the turnaround time is about 3 days before the results come back. So we will have results the same day for samples in the morning, and if they come late in the evening, the next morning, but within 24 hours in a week.